I'm going to take a quick 10 seconds to plug my Instagram. So if you guys enjoy my content and want to see more of me on other platforms, then follow my Instagram, first link in the description. Anyway, I'm not going to waste your time. Today's video is about sleep, and I'll start right away. So the biggest misconception with sleep is that the hours you spend in bed are the same as the amount of hours you slept. So like a lot of people believe that just because they've been in bed or been trying to sleep for 8 hours, that they've slept for 8 hours, but that's not even close to true. If you go to bed at 12 and you wake up at 8, you may think you have 8 hours of sleep, but you don't. Like most likely you probably have like six and a half, anywhere between 6 and 7 hours, which like is not ideal for most of you, to be honest. Most of you will probably want 7 to 9 hours of actual sleep, which, believe it or not, is 9 to 11 hours in bed. Like personally, I'm spending nine and a half, 10 hours in bed every night to get barely 8 hours of sleep. So most of you, if you're like about average, have like an 80 to 85% sleep efficiency rate, which means that, how do I explain this? So it's like basically however much you think you slept, multiply that by zero point 0.8 or multiply it by 0.85, and that's how much you actually slept. Because unless you're tracking your sleep, most of you guys actually have no clue how often you wake up, how often you toss and turn, how many times you wake up a night, and a lot of you won't even remember when you fell asleep. So I used to think I got like 9, 10 hours every night because I would wake up like 6, 7 times a night, like without even realizing. Like I know that now because I have a sleep tracking app. But like before that, I assumed I never woke up. I never did anything. But then I'm literally hearing myself on like the sleep tracker that like records my audio. I can hear myself tossing and turning, waking up, like grabbing water, all these things that I just didn't realize were happening. So most likely you will need at least 9 hours in bed if you want to have good sleep and not be sleep deprived. The crazy thing is, you may not think you're sleep deprived, but that's the kind of the horror behind it because you're so used to being sleep deprived that you don't know what it's like to not feel sleep deprived. Being sleep deprived is like your normal. So like imagine if another 30% of your brain was just unlocked. You were just 30% quicker, 30% sharper, 30% more focused, 30% better performing in the gym just because you've been sleeping. And then you realize you've been operating at like 65, 70, 75% capacity for like years and years at this point. That's the benefit sleep can give you. Sleep is one of the most underrated things for like overall life performance. You quite literally need better sleep for a better life. I think almost all of your like productivity, fitness, and everything issues can be started by solving your sleep. So 7 to 9 hours of sleep, 9 to 11 hours in bed. And some of you might be saying like, "Oh, Sean, I can sleep 6 hours. Like some people can get 6 hours of sleep." Chances are that's not fucking you, bro. Like swallow your fucking pride. You're probably not that guy that can get by on 6 hours of sleep. It's not as common as you think it is. Like a lot of you may hear people that say that like, oh, I sleep 6 hours, I feel fine every day. But like I said, do they realize that they're sleep deprived? It's kind of like the same thing with carbs. Like everyone says carbs are fine. I feel fine with carbs. I don't feel tired at all. Then you stop eating carbs and then you're like, fuck me, bro. Like I was so retarded like the entire time I was eating carbs. And I didn't even realize it because that's my baseline. There's no comparison point. So it's like you don't even realize how shit your situation is until you get out of it first. Same thing with sleep. You don't realize how sleep deprived you are, how retarded you are, how slow you are until you start getting good sleep. Okay. So I personally recommend using an app like Sleep Cycle. It's kind of weird though because Sleep Cycle is a free app. Well, I'm pretty sure it is. Like I'm not paying anything for it, but like every time I've recommended Sleep Cycle to someone in like the past like year or something, for some reason they make you buy a membership now, which I'm not sure why. Like I would show you on my phone, but I'm recording on my phone obviously, but like I'm not paying for anything on Sleep Cycle. I'm not sure what they're doing exactly, but as of recent, it's like you can't even use the free version. Like they're forcing you to buy a yearly membership. I don't know, bro, but find some sleep tracking app. It could be Sleep Cycle if that still works. That's personally my favorite. You can also use an Apple Watch. You can use the Aura Ring. You can use the Whoop Band. All these like new technologies that help you like track your sleep. Because the way these apps work is they track your breathing. And if you guys don't know, the easiest way to tell whether someone's waking up is through their breathing. Because when you're sleeping, for the most part, you're breathing very deeply. So then when you wake up, there's like a rise in body temperature, which the um, wearable like watch devices can track. There's a rise in body temperature, and there's also a very rapid increase in the rate of your breathing. So both of these things combined, and the app can easily tell whenever you're waking up. It's honestly not that difficult. So let's give an example. Let's say you have like an Apple Watch or like you have like some Aura Ring or you got some sleep tracking app. If you want to wake up at 7 a.m. every morning and you want, let's say you want the golden 8 hours of sleep, you should probably be sleeping at like 9 or 9:30, which, before this video, you may have thought that's like, oh, that's 9.5 hours of sleep. That's 10 hours of sleep. That's like way too much. It's not, bro. It's not even close to too much. Like that, if you slept 10, I mean, if you were in bed for 10 hours every night, you would be so healthy. You would have no fucking clue. It is crazy. And for this part of the video, I'm just gonna give you some tips on falling asleep faster. These are just like quick, like rapid fire tips, okay? So have your last meal 2 hours before your bedtime, at least 2 hours before your bedtime. If you're sleeping at 10 p.m., have dinner by 8 p.m. Eat nothing else after that, because that can have like, you can have digestion issues while sleeping. It may wake you up. You may just like not have as good quality sleep as you could have if you just like ate earlier. So like personally, I sleep at like 9:30, 10 every night because I'm waking up at 7 most days. So like I try to get dinner done by 7. So 7 p.m. Same with water. Don't drink water after 2 hours before bed. So like if it's like 10 p.m. and it's like, just like drink all the water you think you could possibly need by like 7:30, 8 p.m. Because if you drink it like after that, then it's gonna be that fucking annoying thing where like you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to like fucking piss and you have to go to the bathroom, and you don't want that. Like, just you want to minimize the number of times you're waking up at night. So drink all the water you think you will need for the next fucking, what is it, 12 hours before 2 hours before bed. So you drink a ton of water before then go to the bathroom before you go to sleep, then you won't wake up during the night. You'll be perfectly fine. Another thing is to tape your mouth. This is actually not on my notes, but it's one very, very good thing. So buy this specific kind of tape. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it at Walmart. It's pretty cheap. It's called micropore tape. What this does is, I mean, people use it for viewing or whatever, but like this actually helps their sleep in general. So ideally, when you're sleeping, you should be breathing through your nose, not your mouth. The reason people fucking snore is because they're breathing through their mouth while they're sleeping, and it's like the rumbling of their throat. So you want to be breathing through your nose, so you tape your mouth shut, which sounds kind of scary, right? Like, what if you suffocate? What if you die? What if like you wake up and you're just like you just can't fucking breathe and you're just panicking? That's not gonna happen. If you've ever like seen micropore tape is like so fucking like weak that like you can easily just like easily. Like you yawn, like bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like half the time I struggle to keep the micropore tape on me because it falls off so easily. So the way micropore tape works is that, especially if you're sleeping, if there's like the slightest bit of resistance on your lips, keeping them shut, for the most part, your body will just like not fight it because you're sleeping. So that's something that you can like rest assured in, that micropore tape is very weak. But the reason it works is that there's like so like little resistance that it's like just enough for your body to like not open your mouth most of the time. So then when you breathe through your nose when you sleep, you also just don't get morning breath. So your breath doesn't smell like shit every morning. You don't have to like use like some like testosterone estrogenic mouthwash every morning, and you will breathe better throughout the night and get better sleep, obviously. And then biggest thing, fucking turn on night shift on your phone. I swear to God, if you don't put on night shift on your phone at least 2 hours before bed, you're a fucking retard. I have no respect for you if you're not putting on night shift. Like, I wish I could. Actually, I can show you right now on my iPad. I have fucking night shift on my iPad too. I'll show you. So go to settings. I'll go to where's the fuck's night shift? Yeah, here. I'm not sure if you guys can read that, but right there, you guys definitely can't read that, can you? No, but it says 7 p.m. Oh, sorry, 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. I have night shift on 3 hours before I go to bed, maybe 4 hours even. Like that's how important it is to have night shift on when you're before you're going to bed because blue light will fuck you up. I'm not even kidding you. Like blue light's gonna completely fuck up your sleep. You're gonna have the worst sleep quality. Like I can now that I've like exited like this sleep matrix, it's like I can tell how much blue light affects me before I go to bed, especially because I'm looking at my friend shows me something on his phone at like 9 p.m. I'm like, bro, why is it so fucking blue? Like, what the fuck? It's not good for your eyes because think about it from like a way back when perspective. Is it natural to see something that's like similar to sunlight at that time, like something that's like bright blue? Is that normal to see when you're supposed to go to bed? Because the thing is with blue light, it sets off all these fucking alarms in your head. It rises your cortisol levels, which is like your stress hormone. It makes you more alert, which is the last thing you want when you go to bed. What you want when you go to bed are dim night shift lights, like a yellow lamp, a dim yellow lamp, or like when your iPad screen or phone screen turns like kind of yellow. And don't have this fucking limiting belief that it looks bad. I used to have this too. Like I used to think like night shift looks so terrible. Like oh, it looks yellow, it looks disgusting. I like when it looks white. It's like oh, it's more modern. But who the fuck cares, bro? It's your sleep. Prioritize your sleep. So no fucking blue light at all. Like don't watch TV. Don't fucking I mean obviously if it's not under your control you can't. But like if it's under your control, don't fucking drive at night because all the fucking like car headlights are gonna fuck up your sleep as well. Which is like fun fact. That's part of the reason car headlights are that color. It's because it makes you more alert. So keep that in mind. That's fucking up your sleep if you can control that. And don't do brain heavy tasks at like the end of the day. Like don't fucking go do like some insane project that's not going to help your sleep. Don't do anything that's going to make your brain think a lot. Do like very like basic like level 1 brain activities like fucking read, go like listen to some like calming music. Like don't listen to like some drill music before you go to sleep, bro. Like don't hype yourself up. Calm yourself down. That's the philosophy. And then another thing you can do is take a warm shower before you go to bed. What the warm shower does is that I keep mixing this up. Does it raise or lower? Yeah. So the warm shower lowers your body temperature because of the external heat, right? And one of the things you need for sleep is a drop in body temperature. Like remember how I said in, like the beginning of this video, you can tell when someone's about to wake up, or like a device can tell by the increase in body temperature and an increase in the rate of breathing. Taking a warm shower slows down the rate of your breathing, if you can tell, and it also lowers your body temperature. So it's basically taking you a step closer to sleep. Another tip: set your fucking circadian rhythm. Sorry, did I say that wrong? Circadian rhythm properly. So like the circadian rhythm is like your body's natural clock on when to sleep and when to wake up. Because like almost all your cells in your body are like just like tuned to like one circadian rhythm. Like they all have the same one. So what you want to do like to set your circadian rhythm properly is to look, if possible, look into the sun, not into the sun, be outside or like in daylight within the first hour of waking up. And obviously, like some of you guys are gonna be like, oh no, it's cloudy in the morning, or no, it's raining. If you can see outside, then there's fucking daylight, and that is enough for you to get this circadian rhythm effect. So don't think just because there's no sun that there's like no daylight or like it's not gonna have an effect. It could be a cloudy day, but if it's daytime, that's good enough. And if you're like in fucking Alaska during the winter or something, and there's like no sun for the first hour you wake up, seriously consider investing in like those like sun like imitation lamps or like whatever those light therapy lamps. Those will do the same effect. And another thing, looking into the not look, I keep saying looking into the sun. Don't look into the sun. All right, that's not a good idea. That's not a doctor's note. But what was I gonna say? Staying outside, just looking in broad daylight, just looking at things actually raises your cortisol levels, which is like your stress hormone, right? Cortisol is your stress hormone, which is something that sounds kind of bad, but the truth is you actually need cortisol hormones to actually like be fully awake in the morning. Cortisol is one of the biggest things that helps you like wake up in the morning and like get rid of like that drowsy, like kind of groggy, I want to go back to sleep feeling. So the two biggest things that will raise your cortisol are obviously like being outside the first hour of the day and like just for 5 minutes. Like if it's a really bright day, like 4 or 5 minutes is good enough. If it's like kind of cloudy or like raining, just like give it like 10, 15 minutes outside and you'll probably not feel tired anymore. And then the second thing, which I know 99.99% of you won't do, is taking an ice cold shower or hopping in an ice bath. This is like fucking like level 1000 cortisol, bro, because if you're going from your warm bed straight into a cold shower, it's like your body goes into like this fight or flight mode, especially if you're not used to it. It like goes into complete shock. Like your cortisol levels like spike through the roof, like everything happens. So that is the most effective way to raise your cortisol in the morning. Like I guarantee you, if you wake up feeling kind of tired even after your 10 hours of like in bed, if you wake up feeling kind of tired even after that, hop in the cold shower. You will not feel tired after 30 seconds in that cold shower. I'm promising you. One more thing is if for people that drink caffeine, I personally don't drink caffeine, but this will be useful for you if you are drinking caffeine regularly. Wait at least 90 minutes before, wait at least 90 minutes till after waking up to first drink your caffeine because basically what happens is that after you wake up, your adenosine levels slowly spike until like 90 minutes in, right? And when you have a higher adenosine level, that means the caffeine you're ingesting will be a lot more effective. So the coffee you're drinking, let's say you wake up at 7 a.m. If you drink coffee at 7, 10 a.m., then the coffee may be like 70% as effective as it could be. But if you wait till 8:30, 9, it's as effective as it could possibly be. And I know you're drinking caffeine because you want the biggest effect of it. So best advice is to wait 90 minutes after waking up to have your first caffeine. And don't have any caffeine after 8 hours before bed. So like if you're going to bed at 10 p.m., don't drink any caffeine after 2 because the effects of caffeine last a lot longer than you think because most of you guys think caffeine lasts like 1 or 2 hours because you feel the spike for 1 or 2 hours, but the effects of caffeine on your system stay for like 6 to 8 hours at least. So it will disrupt your sleep if you're like drinking coffee at like 4 p.m. and you're going to bed at 10. That's going to affect your sleep. So don't do that. And then one more thing you can do just to go to sleep on time more is just to go outside more during the day and like condition your brain to think like, okay, it's daytime. I should be awake. Oh, the sun is setting. I should be tired now. Condition your brain to think that because that's what your brain wants to think. That's how you've been like biologically programmed, like evolutionarily, to like be active and like alert when the sun is out and then almost feel like a need to close your eyes when you see the sun set. That's what your brain is programmed for. So take advantage of that. Be physically active during the day. Be like you should be kind of sore from or like kind of tired when you like go into bed. Like you shouldn't be trying to fall asleep. You should just like be like, I want to go to sleep now. I'm fucking tired. Like that's how you should be. And last tip for this video, if you're fucking impatient and retarded like I am and you want some like fast fix for like going to sleep because like you've already messed up your sleep cycle and you want to like start this new sleep cycle right away, this is not like any doctor's advice. I'm not a doctor. I would not, this is not the healthiest thing you can do for your body. But I would just say, just force yourself to be sleep deprived for one night, which is exactly what I did. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't like, this is like what I did to like fix my sleep schedule in one night. I think I slept like 1 hour one night and I was so fucking tired the next morning that like, after that, I was waiting for my 9:30 p.m. So I could go back to sleep. Like and then after that it's like it was set. So this is the easiest way and not the most healthy way to quickly fix your sleep schedule. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this short guide on sleep. If you found it helpful, you can like, subscribe, do all that gay shit. By the way, tank tops are back now. I just been washing them all recently, so I just got them back now. I feel like this is like my new style, just like the tank tops and everything. So, yeah, this was actually a post-workout video. Usually I film my videos before a workout, but this was a post-workout video, which might explain like why I'm like not as energetic as I could be. But hey, it fits the title of the sleep video, so can't even complain. The hunt ends when you're full.